Welcome yet again to our YouTube Technology Business Law video series. My name is Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal, and in this particular YouTube video, we will be talking about lawyer shopping and lawyer screening. I know this is something that you probably haven't seen in YouTube videos before, but it really is something that you should be looking at. And I thought about it following listening to some YouTube podcasts about where things are going right now and how you can get efficiencies and how you should be looking at approaching your engagement of a lawyer. And I really said to myself, especially on the tech side where people, that being lawyers, are saying they're actively engaged in technology, but there really isn't the formative push by these same lawyers to actively engage with the technology to a degree that really makes a lot of sense. Why do I say that? Well, a lot of lawyers still operate in a lot of old school norms and approaches and don't readily engage technology themselves. So you ask yourself, if you're not readily engaging technology or you just pay lip service to it and say you're a tech lawyer, an internet lawyer, an e-commerce lawyer, a website lawyer and the like, but you don't engage in technology, how do you actually produce the services and support to the clients? Now, when I say that, then I look now to the aspect of lawyer shopping, lawyer screening from the client's perspective. And what clients are finding themselves faced with is really old school mediums of how to assess and try to discern lawyers. And it's not really the most effective way. And lawyers in the tech sphere should know this, and they should really have moved to out of the 20th century and into the 21st century and beyond. And what you want to really be thinking about is you shouldn't be really relying upon some brief, written, impersonal bio of a lawyer. That's all good and great. But we live in a new era, and it's an era that involves YouTube and other forms of social media, where the lawyers actually should be engaging with prospective clients like yourself and presenting themselves so you can make a disposition as to the type of lawyer you're going to be potentially dealing with and actually start the lawyer screening process effectively in advance. Because does it really make sense for you to be waiting until that first initial meeting to start to try to gauge whether this is the right lawyer or not? Like, I read a lot of stuff about lawyer shopping and shopping around and calling around, making meetings, going to different meetings, but that's really a waste of time, in my personal opinion. What you should be doing is taking the time when you have time, which is oftentimes in the evenings and the weekends, or you set aside some time during the day when you got some free space time to really do your assessment of who the potential lawyers are and really put a focused effort on it. And during that focused effort, what you should have the capacity to do is actually go and screen out the lawyers and put the time in. And if lawyers actually, like what we're trying to do ourselves, and because of this conceptualization, is put their passions, their knowledge, their experience before prospective clients through the form of YouTube videos. YouTube videos do a great deal of personalization. They show where the lawyer's interests are and how they engage with people and what their interests and their passions are. Now, at the same time, a lot of YouTube videos, very much like this one, are designed to be not these hardcore commercials that you might see on television, but more off the cuff, only semi-scripted, very much unscripted, and they aim to provide perspective as to the person that you, as a prospective client, would be dealing with the lawyer, in this case myself, and how that person would be engaged, what they're doing, where their passions are, where their dynamics are, where their experience comes from, and what knowledge they can show. Now, that is what YouTube presents itself and what you should be looking at. Because if you effectively get a presentation and you go through a series of YouTube videos that the specific lawyer that you're looking at has posted and you have available to yourself, together with all the other old school mediums, including their bios and their websites, their LinkedIn profiles, those very impersonal, brief, descriptive, two-dimensional systems, you can then get a sense as to whether or not you even want to engage that lawyer. Like, geez, people might not like my appearance, my disposition, where my focus is. Wouldn't it be better that you make that determination after you watch a YouTube video, a couple of them, and get that feel? Either you feel good about working with such a person or you don't feel good about working with such a person. You might want somebody else. Somebody has a different disposition than that. And that's what you really should be doing. Because do you really want to spend your time and waste the time of the lawyer as well and try to set up a meeting? And it slows down the process. You got to remember this also. You set up a meeting, oftentimes it's 2, 3, 4 days down the road that you're going into the meeting. And there hasn't been really any screening. The lawyer themselves haven't really been screened out by yourself, and you don't really have that opportunity to do that kind of reflection as to whether this person has a passion, an interest, experience, knowledge for what you're doing. So you put it off for a couple of days when the stuff really should be moving forward that day or the next day. And instead you go into a meeting and everybody's awkward and you're not sure if it's the right fit. And you spend that whole meeting or you spend that whole initial phone conversation trying to gauge whether or not the lawyer's the right person. At the same time, the lawyer can sense this. And they're saying, oh, I'm on this shopping block being tested out. And I'm not really sure if there's a genuine interest by this individual to actually engage my services, or they're just wasting my time looking for different people and not really sure about it. No, that is not how you should be approaching stuff, especially in the 21st century. You got to get away from the old school stuff and move to the present system. And how do you move? You start looking at stuff like YouTube videos that are posted that show the engagement of the lawyer and show if they have a genuine interest in your particular legal assignment that's before you, and if you're good with working with them. By doing that, you really should be making up about 90-95% of your decision process. You should be going into that phone call or that initial meeting knowing full well that there's a little bit of space that you have to confirm that the person you've seen on the video, that you've read on the bios, is actually the genuine product that they're showing themselves as. And if they are, that's really the person you should be dealing with. At the same time, when you're engaging that individual, you're not doing initial questions. You're doing questions specific to the assignment before you and asking the person specific questions, not really to try to get the answers, but to make sure that the lawyer is properly capable of tackling the legal assignment that's before you. And if they are that genuine, experienced, knowledgeable individual who can deliver for you. That's what you're looking for. And that's why you have to reorient and restructure your approach to looking into lawyers, shopping around, screening lawyers. I know most lawyers wouldn't talk about lawyer shopping and lawyer screening, but this is what you really should be doing. Because from the same standpoint as a lawyer, especially one who's focusing on specific areas of legal practice and business practice, you want to be focusing your attention and providing the best service possible. That means providing it to a very specific subset of clientele. Because it is within that subset of clientele, and for example, technology clients on the business side, the development side, that you're able to best effectuate results for them. And you feel the greatest confidence. And that confidence corresponds to what the other person is going to feel. And that's how you get that real fit that you're looking for. So you gotta look to try to make that shift. Check out the lawyers, but check them out through YouTube and through other means of engagement that are not so two-dimensional and flat, but offer a new dimension, especially on the technology side. Because it is on the technology side, I have to restate, where people should be engaging with technology if they are a technology lawyer. And if they're engaging with technology, they should be communicating you in this kind of manner, because it is a kind of manner that's expected in the field. And it allows people to make smart, intelligent decisions without wasting everybody's time. Because especially from your standpoint, you need to get the right people to do the professional work that you're looking for. And you should not be wasting your time trying to find the correct person. Nor should you be getting the wrong person and having to backtrack afterwards. And that is the value of lawyer screening, lawyer shopping in the 21st century, using the tools that are available to you and expecting the same from the lawyers that are out there marketing their services to you as a technology client. I trust you have found this YouTube video informative, and naturally, look at our other YouTube videos and it'll show you the breadth of technology, business law, and practice that we do undertake. Thank you.